see what I will use for this DIY. You see here some old cardboard from an old box I will use. And of course some hooks from my Christmas tree. And of course 2 Christmas bulbs. I don't try not to make so many noise. So you see 2 of them. And of course an old cardboard box. There was some cookies in it. And I kept the box. So I thought you never know where I can use it for. So I hope it will come in handy. You see here 2 old already from the fall. 2 planters from IKEA. They were 49 cents. And of course I will reuse my oasis who is inside. And I have 2 of them. Of course some white paint, some acrylic paint. And of course first we are going to paint our Christmas bulbs. So let's do that first. So you see already I have took out my Christmas bulbs out of the paper and the price tag I took off. And of course I did some paint inside of my little old beaker. And of course I will paint this one white. And of course I will hang it on one of the Christmas bulbs hangers. And I will hang it in my garage so it can dry right there. So, but first I'm going to paint one of them, and of course I know you know how to paint a Christmas ball. So, but for everyone who likes to see it, I just paint one of them. And I think it needs more layers than one. I thought it would, I don't know how you say it, that it did cover more than I see right now. So it does need in a couple of more times to paint. So I thought it would be more, yeah, in the Netherlands we call it dekkend. So we will see. And I don't know if I like this better or if I spray paint it, then if I like it better then. So, but we will see. First I'm going to hook my little Christmas. At least I try. I'm squeezing it a little bit together so he will stay this way. And of course I'm trying to do, I hope I show you. Of course the top is going inside of my planter so you won't see that. But I'm going to try to cover it the best I can. But I already see that it takes a couple of layers. So you see, one is already almost finished. So I will let this dry and I do the other one and then I show you how they completely finished. Also with the second coat on it, or else you will be very bored. So I will let this dry. So when my paint is drying, I take my old little cookie box. And I'm trying to get him just to the half. At least I'm trying to cut it in half. I don't know if this is really the greatest way. I don't know. We're going to see. And I left the lids on because I think then it gives a little bit more of structure, so it doesn't go in, it's squeezed a little bit less. At least that's what I hope. But every time to do little pieces, I hope we will go in 2 pieces. really hope he yes, look, I have two, at least not the same height. I still need to do some work about, for this one, but I have two little heads for my snowman, and of course I will do some cardboard under here, and then I will spray paint them black, and of course I will leave the lid on, and of course of at least a little piece of cardboard, of course not the lid itself, but a little piece of cardboard. I will glue this one also on top of it and one under it, and then I will spray paint it in the black color. So, but he is already in half. So now I will draw a little round for the top of the head, so I can glue this one So I will cut this one also out, and I think I will do it with a scissor and not with a knife, because I think with a scissor it's a little bit better to work with. So we are taking a scissor and then I hope yes, this works a little bit better. I hope I do it in front of the camera, but I think you already know a little bit which way I'm going with my snowman head. So so now we're going to look what's fitting, and of course he fits, but he needs a little bit of work, so little pieces I can still remove, so he fits a little bit better. Then I will glue this one with my glue gun. This is already a little bit better, only here a little piece. So you see, now already the top of the head is done. Now I will glue this one together. So now you see I will glue some, I will do it this way. I will glue some glue around the corners of the sides. I do a little bit more, so I know that he will fit everywhere. And now we are going to try to get it on top of my little snowman's head. I don't know if he really is fitting, and of course I have to cut it a little bit because he is still a little bit too big. Now he is a little bit open right here, so I have to do it a little bit better. He is not, look, he is not getting enough of the glue, I think. I don't know what it is. I need a new one. Of course, this is crafting with some difficulties, because I don't know why he's not working the way I think he wants to work. Or else I'm going to do the glue on top of my head. If this doesn't work, no, this doesn't work either. So we are going to do something else. This is one big mess, so don't do this the same way. It's a little bit harder than I thought it would. The idea was great, but it didn't go as well as I hoped it would be. But he is stuck, and now I have to do the underside of it. So you see, here are the two glued rounds from my cookie jar, of my cookie box. And of course, what I did, I just took a piece of cardboard. And I just placed it on top of it. I just measured it out like this. And then I do a little wider line from 1 centimeter or 5. I don't know if how you call it in inches. At least you can see already a little piece outside of it to give the head a little round side. A little piece beside it. So of course I will cut the middle out. This I will cut out, but not totally up to here, but a little bit beside here, because I still want to glue it on top of it, and or else I haven't get a place to glue it. And then this I will take out, because if you do that, he will fall easier on your Christmas bulbs, because you use it as a head, so then it will fall easier. You see already I painted him in the white color, and now later on I will Mod Podge it, and I roll it through my fake snow, but you will see that later. But first I'm going to make this head, and I will spray paint it. So I will cut this one out, and then I will glue gun it, and then I will glue it, and then I will spray paint it in the black color, so it looks like a snowman's head. So let's do that first. So I see a little bit that is the light is a little bit dark, but I think you still can see it. You see already I cut, so the greatest way I can, I cut it out. I have 2 of them, and of course then you will place and glue the top of the cookie box on top of it, and then you will see that he falls better on your snow ball. I'm sorry. So I will glue this now together, and then I will spray paint it in the black color. So you see, I glue them on top of each other, and you see already he is looking like a snowman's head. And now you can see it a little bit better, because you have a hole in the head. He falls better on your bulb, on your what you will use as a snowman's head. So now we are going to spray paint it in the black color, and then we are ready to give it a nice red kind of ribbon. So what we are going to do right now, because the snowman's head is drying, and of course I will take some fake snow, and I'll do it in a plastic box, just so I can move my little ball inside of it. And of course then I have to dry it. I'm sorry, I make a lot of noise for you, I realize right now. I'm sorry. So I'm doing some fake snow inside of here. It is a little bit snow with a little glitter in it, so it gives, I hope at least it gives a little sparkle. At least that's what I hope. And I hope it gives the structure I hope that it will be. We will see. I always have to be careful, because the bags are not always the greatest. It is not from this side. Of course I have to catch my Mod Podge. So I have my Mod Podge, and of course I will Mod Podge my ball. I hope it goes the way I hope that it will go. So just Mod Podge your snow. Whoa. 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 So this was not the way that was planned. Of course you can see with crafting everything can happen. So you see here I'm just moving everything inside of my little is one big mess. So what I'm doing right now is probably not the greatest the greatest way, because I have everything inside of it, and of course I see here I still need some Mod Podge on it. It is one big mess. I'm glad that it is the last Mod Podge I have for my package, because or else you couldn't do it this way. But I really love how he is looking like. That's the only positive thing, that he really looks great. So now I'm going to try to get my hands clean, and that I'm going to hang it. You see here, he looks so nice. But of course he has to dry right now. So because my Christmas bulbs, at least my snow bulb, is drying right now, and of course my head is also drying, I am going to spray paint a couple of this one pins. Here in the Netherlands we call it punaise, but I use them for to make the mouth of the snowman and of course his eyes. So I will spray paint a couple of them in the black color. So I will do that first. So now my nails and my everything is dry right now. I'm going to try to make a little base around here when the snowman's head is falling inside of it. I have a round around here, and of course it doesn't have to be a big round, because I can do it this way, that I have a big, but you also can do it a little bit smaller. Maybe it's that a little bit better, because or else it will be so wide. So I will make first a round, and you just pull everything out. So you see, you just make a round like this, and then you work your way a little bit inside of it, because you need to leave a lot of room for the snowman's head. But you, of course, you will give it a little bit of around his head, a little bit of, and here in the Netherlands we call it een kraag, but a little piece around his neck. So that's why I'm doing this way, and of course it is very easy to do. And I think I will cut this one a little bit shorter, so he also can get inside of. He's a little bit big, but it is possible. Just cut a little piece of it. And try to give it a little bit structure, to go a little bit of the smaller pieces, then a little bit of the bigger piece, and then you go your way through. Again, a little smaller one. A little bit bigger one. But you see, you can still use your oasis even if you already used it for another DIY. So you can purpose every time, you can purpose a new. And now a little bit of the smaller one. And a little bit big one, because I like that it is closed. I think I will put this one. So you see, you have a little base already around the snowman's head. And of course, now I will try to give it a little bit more structure with some other Christmas branch. And of course, I just pull it off, so you can use, from one branch you can use so much. At least I try to pull it off. Pull it off. So just work your way again inside of it, but keep it a little bit flat, if I am say it correctly. But because you have to leave some room for your head. I always use my branches so many times. I always say what you can keep, you always can use again, because everything is expensive enough, so you just use it again and again. So you see, for one branch you can use so much. If I do it a little bit this way, I hope he will stick a little bit better. But you see already, he is coming up already. Just so a couple of pieces and then I'm already there. That's one of them. And another one over here. And one piece. So you see already, you give it already, you did give it already, at least I gave it, but when you do it, you gave it a little round around his face, the snowman's face. So I think I leave it this way, and then I will measure it how much I need over here. But I want to still keep it a little bit neutral. I don't want to have it a lot of colors, so I want to leave it this way, a little bit neutral. So and now I will do the second one. So you see, I have both of them ready for the Christmas, for the snowman's head. But first what I'm going to do, because there are a little holes in it, I just leave them. I will push some glue inside of it already. So this can already give a little, a little structure already to my oasis, or else I'm a little bit afraid that he will not glue the greatest. So I'm doing some glue in front of it already. I know it will dry right now. This one, and of course I will do the second one. So it gives already a little bit of a body in for the Christmas bulbs, who I will do later. So this is a little bit, of course you can do whatever you want. This is just my way of working. So this can dry right now, and it gives already a little bit structure inside of the, because you use the oasis again. So, but first, now we are going to do the Christmas hat on the head of the snowman. So the heads are almost dry, you see them here. What I do first is I'm going to do a ribbon around it, and then I think I'm going to distress a little bit with the white color, so it comes a little bit more to life. I don't know if I like that or not, or else I will spray paint it black again. But first I'm going to do the ribbon around it. And of course I chose for this velvet ribbon. I had them already for last year, so also this one is also out of my my box, out of my bins. And of course I will, you see here, I will glue them around here. Of course I will measure that up, and then I will glue it together. But I think you know already how you have to make a ribbon around around the head. So I've measured it out because I have two heads. So first a little bit of hot glue on here, then I will place my ribbon, then I will lay it around it, I try to get it as low as I can, and then I will do a little, I'm sorry if I don't do it in front of you, I'll show you in a minute. So you see, this is how he looks like. But I think he looks a little bit plain, so I try to dry brush it in a moment. But first I'm going to do the other ribbon. But I do that out of camera because or else you will be very bored. So the ribbon is on his head, and of course you see already I tried one of them to distress them, and I like how it looks like. So I'm going to do the second one. But you see, it's so easy, just a dry brush and just tap it off and just go with little, just very light around your head, and of course don't forget the top. So it is just so easy, it is just a matter of just doing it very light. And if you want to have it a little bit thicker, then you go a little bit harder around it. And of course the sides. And the underside of the under the head, of course, turn it around and try to do in one direction. So you see, I really love how he looks like, a little bit of the snow feeling of it. So I let this one also dry, and then we are going to place our snowman's face on the little planter I made. So you see, I have already everything in place, a towel for all the mess of what is probably coming off of my snowball. So, but first what I'm going to do is glue a lot of glue inside of my little container of my planter, just how you call it. Just take a lot of glue so I'm sure that everything will stick right. and everything will stay on it, because I don't want that I lose my Christmas ball, of course. And I will turn him around and just squeeze him inside of my container. And of course I was expected that he falls off, but it's almost nothing, so I am very satisfied that it works this way. I will keep it in place for a little while, so I'm sure that my glue gun is sticking everything together. And I want to make sure that he is stick on my, and he does. So what I will do right now is I will show you a little bit how he looks like. Of course, when you see already how he is changed if you only do the head on top. So what I will do first is do the head on top of my thing before I do the eyes and the... So what I want to do now is that I'm going to look like the behind, and I just want to have him a little bit. So of course I will do a lot of glue also behind here. On top of here, and I do a little bit more. And I'm going to use the back, and of course I'm try to squeeze him on. I show you in a moment how he looks like, because I really want to know that he really is stuck on here. I don't know if you see my fingers over here, but you see, this is how he looks like right now. I think he looks so cute. Oh, I see that you don't see it at the top. I will get you a little bit up. So you see, this is how he looks like with his head on. I really love how he's looking like. So, of course, I have to do two eyes, a nose, and a little mouth, and of course a little bow under it. But we will do that. But first, I let it dry, and I do the other one. But I will do that out of camera, or else this video is taking too long. I always talk too much, so I will do that out of camera. So here you see how they both look like. Of course I have to do some eyes and some nose and some mouth, but and then a little bow, but I think already he looks so nice. So first I'm going to do the eyes, and then I show you how he's looking like. So here you see how they are looking like with the faces on. Of course I use one little pin, and of course some nose. I'm not really satisfied about the nose and the mouth, but it is okay for now. And the head should have been a little bit more over this. Maybe I will redo this again, but I love how he looks like. He has a little bow, and of course now I'm going to do some here and there, some little red berries, and then he is finished.